Dr. T, so in looking at this, how do we as educators practically take steps to, like we say, what you don't have, you can't give. You want to explore alternative assessment strategies. You want to upgrade your students. You want to give them the best and all of that. What level of preparation do we need? What do we need to focus on ourselves before we can get to that point, so that as professionals, we can actually get to where we need to go and do what we need to do for the crop of students that we work with.
Awesome. Fantastic. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yes. So the question Bibi just asked now actually was what made me start my journey into being an edupreneur. So, of course, personally, all through when I was doing a lot of personal development programs, trainings here and there, I noticed there was just this focus on how the children in our settings should get better. And I was like, who is taking care of the teacher? Right? And I saw that market gap. And being a girl that is being born and bred Isaleko, I married, someone from the East. Something just sparked in my brain that this is a wide market that is not being covered. And I think I was the first person that I know that started mentoring educators. Now it's everywhere. Where I came with that perspective because, like you said, Bibi, we can't give what we don't have. And sincerely, one of the first things I discovered was about 70 to 80% of the educators I met then didn't own the profession. It was a stopgap. I didn't want to study education either, and that was the truth. When I tell people who are really shocked. But I came to a place of self-discovery in my early 20s, and I discovered that by the time I checked through my shape, which is my spiritual gifts, my heart, my abilities, my personality, as well as my experience, the good, the bad, and the ugly, I just knew everything was tailored and wired towards being an educator. The moment I discovered that in my early 20s, the first thing I did was I just have to develop my own capacity. And it's all round, both professionally and personally. So I finished service on a Friday. I started my master's on a Monday. Every other person told them, are you crazy? Are you okay? Are you well? And the way I packed my bag and left Abia State that day, I can never forget. And I found myself in the lecture room studying educational psychology while my mates were still like, we will hang out another 1 month, 2 months staying here. So that gave me that laser focus, and I gave myself, and there's something called the law of long-term perspective. And it says, the farther you can see, the longer you can plan, the faster you will get to your destination, right? I clocked 40 last year, and a lot of people say, it's like, I keep hearing that thing. You started early, and I think the long-term perspective still really counts. So first off, I would like to encourage that let's have that foresight as an educator. If they say that a goal without a deadline is a wish. And when you begin with the end in mind, taken from Stephen R. Covey, you are going to just have that force. It gives you a reason why you wake up every morning. Another issue is that a lot of us, we get caught up in the day-to-day activities rather than taking time to begin with the end in mind. What is my end? And then begin to work from that end point to your daily activities. When you do that, you have a reason to wake up. You have a reason to want to push. You have a reason when your bones are dead tired and there's just this force that pushes you beyond the scope of what you would naturally like to do. I hope I was able to answer the question.
Thank you. The law of long-term perspective. That's very interesting. The law of long-term perspective. Thanks very much. And I think she said something. I mean, about cut his shape. Yeah. Did you get that? Yeah. Rick Warren. The purpose-driven life. Yeah. Then you can also read Ikigai. The Japanese word for purpose. You understand? Finding your shape is very important. I love to talk about finding your true north. You understand? Or finding your voice, just like Stephen Covey said. But the truth is, we need to find a path. You understand? 8 habits, yes. You have to dig. Because you can't also help the students to find their path if you are also still wondering. You don't know where you are going. You want to help another person to find their path. There will be problem. Exactly. So, as educators, we need to find our path. After 13 years in a school, we ask someone, so what's happening? Another, okay, I'm still managing. I don't, 13 years, you are still managing. What will new graduates say? I am planning to, this education self, this school people self, it doesn't work that way. Even your students will be confused. There are parts of the curriculum that are not written that they get to learn from us directly, and we need to be mindful of that.